Hey everyone, it's Daniel with I Am Builders here. We just got to I Am Builders HQ. A couple days ago, I gave this episode 3 now of the Xplode Strategy Show with I Am Builders. So a couple days ago, I talked about what we call our origin story, how we started, how I started, my background, and one of the things I talked about was how making fraternity paddles in college, what that taught me about business. And I think that we all have one of those moments or those events that really show us. It's almost like one of those fork in the road events that kind of like show us what we need to do, or they take us in a different path. Because growing up, I went to architecture school, and what they taught me was go to school, get really good grades, go get a job, and go do something that you really like. All that is cool, and I completely agree with it. But there's a couple of things that I learned. It's like a paradigm shift, because you want to go get a job, you want to go become an architect, and you have like this vision of being the guy that designs and blah blah blah. But when you realize that it's not 100% what you really want, then certain events eventually make you want to go in a different direction. So in college, I was in this fraternity called Pi Kappa Phi, and we had this event called Gear Up Florida, where we need to fundraise. We need to raise $2,500. Back to me, those days in 2008, when I was 20 years old or something like that, it was like a ridiculous, like insane amount of money. Like I never had that even in my bank account. I didn't even believe I was gonna be able to raise that much money. But anyway, so I started going to these fraternity events, and since I already knew how to cut wood, I used to do these models with architecture. I started going to the fraternity and the sorority meetings and saying, hey, do you guys need a paddle? I can cut them for you, $50, something like really cheap like that. And I remember that first semester, I remember walking into those meetings and, my student tie, thinking that that's what business people wear. And I remember I went to Office Depot, I printed out, I got those what is it, the business cards that you could just print from your computer. I didn't even get professional business cards. I did it right before I went to the meeting, because when you're young, you procrastinate for everything. So I go to the first meeting, and I'm not this public speaking guy that knows, with all this experience, especially when I was younger. So I go in the front, and then there's this group of like 100 girls, like waiting, hearing this presentation that I'm about to make. And I'm there like freaking out, a little bit nervous, sweating. And I remember I gave the presentation. Hey, I could do paddles. Here's a few examples, because I had done a couple. So I called them, hey, can I borrow the paddles I made for you? I just want to do a quick presentation, whatever. So long story short, in that first semester, I think I sold like $5,000 of paddles, and it was like ridiculous, crazy busy. I think I was busier those days than I even was now, because I was cutting wood all day and gluing little letters. And for those of you who don't know what a paddle is, that's this gift that they give the little brother or the little sister gives it to their big brother, big sister in the fraternity. It's like a mentor thing. It's a little bit dumb, but whatever. It's a thing. It's like a tradition. So I think I sold like $5,000. I ended up going on my bike ride, and that showed me, man, you know what? I said, man, I want to start a paddle business. So that's actually what got me into internet marketing. Because I remember one of my friends in the fraternity, he told me one day, he goes, hey, I know about computers and marketing and this and that. I can help you. I know how to do that stuff. And I go, all right, let's do it. Let's grow a business together. And he kind of like excited me about it. But then like he went ghost on me. Oh, I'm too busy. I'm going to medical school. I don't have time. Like, oh, forget it. I guess I'll figure it out. So I went to Barnes and Nobles, and I bought this book called Internet Riches. It was it's not relevant anymore because it was like 10 years ago. But I was like, man, I could do a business on the internet. How do I do it? How do I get a domain? How do I make a website? And I didn't know any of this stuff because I'm an architecture kid, you know. I'm not a programmer. I don't do this stuff. Then I read the guy's second book, Internet Riches 2.0, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta do something. And that's where I started with wanting to do an online business. Fast forward, what, 10 or 15 years, something like that. In that process, I tried to do affiliate marketing. I tried to do, a bunch of other stuff. And I eventually figured it out with I Am Builders. I became this like marketing geek. So if anybody likes marketing, that's like something that, oh look, my marketing guy is on. He just signed up, Gabriel. I'm like this marketing geek. So when I first started, I wanted to do this online business, but I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was freaking, it was like confusing. But anyway, so I eventually really kind of became a student of marketing. I tried to learn affiliate marketing. That didn't work. I tried to learn SEO. That didn't work. I hired some guy in India to do my SEO once, and that didn't work. And I'm like, man, forget it. I gave up. And so for a while, during that season where I gave up is when I went to go work at an interior design firm. I went to go work in construction. I learned the trades. I learned how to be a superintendent, how to be a project manager, how to run a job. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to give this thing a shot again. And I took like this Google course, how to do ads, how to do landing pages. I geeked out again. What's the most current stuff? Because whatever I learned 10 years ago, 15 years ago is no longer relevant. And we did it. And fast forward now, we're changing contractors' businesses all over the country. So that's the story of how making fraternity paddles in college, what that taught me about. Well, actually, it was my post was gonna be about about just business, but really it's what that taught me about business and how to grow an online business. So yeah, I hope that that's a little bit of backstory about me. And obviously now we're in the construction side of things, not so much the paddle side of things, but yeah, hopefully we can connect a little bit, and this can help me serve you a little bit better. So if you want to check us out, we're a construction estimating firm, iambuilders.com, iambuilders.com, and give me a call. I can tell you more about our interesting origin stories. See you later.